up, everyone? It is your girl GELBEAUTY 87 here, aka Grace Girl, and today we're gonna get into the why you don't need the Glamlite X Chucky Crazy in Love collection, or the palette, if you will. So when I saw that they were teasing a new palette for Valentine's Day, I was like, oh, okay, they usually don't do Valentine's Day stuff. But when I saw what it was, I was like, it doesn't feel Valentine's Day to me, first of all. I mean, like, I know it's giving more anti-Valentine's Day twist, which I kind of like, because it's like, you know, everybody's used to coming out with these reddish palettes and these pink palettes, and like, you know, these palettes have a little bit of purple and red and these type of tones in it. So I was like, cool, okay, they're coming out with something different. But then I was like, when I saw the actual palette, I was like, this looks like my Beetlejuice X Melt, the waiting room palette. Now I know it doesn't look exact, so I'm not saying it looks exact. I know Karen, my girl Karen Hair, said it didn't look exact either. I don't have the palette. I don't plan on getting the palette because I have the waiting room. So I'm like, we just gonna use the waiting room today, girl, okay? But I do have other options if you don't have the waiting room. So for example, like, I have 3 other options besides the waiting room. So I have the Venom palette. If you all found this at a TJ Maxx near you, then you know, this has a lot of those gray tones that's in that palette, if you will, and a lot of these deeper tones. And then you can always pair like some single shadows with them that you already have in your collection to get that done. Matter of fact, let me pull up this palette now to make sure that, you know, I ain't sending people off. But like, I just was like, I'm not gonna say I was disappointed. It was just more of like, once I saw the palette, I'm like, I already have these shades. It's just, you know. Matter of fact, here's the palette right here. So this is what it looked like. I'm sure you've already seen people's videos on it, so why I feel like I need to show you, like, you know, I'm really doing something. I am not. You have already seen this palette. I am not. But that's what she looks like. And it just gives me the vibes of like some deeper cranberry shades mixed in with like a palette that looks like this. Now obviously this doesn't look exact to that, you just saw that one, but I'm just trying to give you alternatives to that palette because I'm not necessarily crazy about it. Then again, you got the Zendo, this $27 palette right here. Gorgeous, stunning. Crap, I need to pull out the one from those people, Kaleidos, because I got that one too. So it's like, this one's similar. So I have like 4 different options to show you besides the one that we're gonna use in today's video. So this is what it looks like. And I feel like you could always pair some Super Shock shadows with it, and that'll be like a whole experience for you, and you don't have to necessarily buy this palette. Like, again, if you have the Kaleidos Jasmine Rose palette, you have a similar color swatch to that as well. Because see, they have those grays in it. Now those 2 I just showed you are much smaller, so they don't have as many similar colors. But I'm like, I feel like you can get the same effect because you can use these. Then you use a bright red Super Shock shadow from ColourPop. I still have the ones when they did their Valentine's Day collection with those in it. And then you can just use that. I'm gonna show you those in a second before I show you the palette we're going to use, like I said, which is the Beetlejuice Waiting Room palette. But then you have the Wild Jaguar from Huda Beauty. Again, you have a lot of the same similar colors to it. See, it has like that grayish tone to it. It has this shifting purple shimmer to it. Only thing that she did was add a gold that they don't have, and like this nude shade that they don't have, because they stayed more true to home. But I feel like if you block this out and block this out, a lot of the colors in here look really similar to that palette as well. And you can just use these Super Shocks I'm about to show you. So I have 3 ones specifically from the Valentine's Day collection. They are brighter than the ones in the palette because they did it for a deeper burgundy tone, which again I feel like is similar to the Melt one. So that's why I'm just kind of like, But this is the shade Fooling Around. So it's really nice, kind of cranberry-ish red tone shade. Y'all know Super Shock shadows are only like $6. So I feel like that's a nice shade and good alternative to it. Then I have the shade Baby Talk. It's more of a shimmery-ish kind of matte type color. So if you wanted a matte Super Shock, I feel like this would be a good one for you to choose from. Now I don't know if they make these anymore, but these are the ones that are in my collection, so they're the ones I'm showing you. And then I have the shade Hottie Toddy. So when they so these are shades I feel like would be good alternatives for you to use if you already have those palettes that I showed you, and then you could use those alongside the all grayish palettes that I showed you with the silver mixed tones, because I feel like that's what they were going for, and they just added cranberry tones. And now let's get into my, of course, waiting room palette. So I love this palette. I was telling Fancy Face said she wasn't gonna get it, and she ended up finding them when she was on vacation in Florida visiting her mom. So she went ahead and bought them because she said it was a sign that she needed to get them. But here is what it looks like. Now I know Karen said they're not exact, and as you can see, they're not exact. I feel like this one has much more reds in it, and there's more gray and silver and black focused, if you will. So, but since the Melt one has less shades in it, they had less, you know, colors to choose from, but I feel like I can make a similar look with this palette versus that palette. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let me zoom you on real quick and cute like girl. I'm gonna go off camera and do what if you're curious what's on the eyes now, I just did a why you don't need the new Huda Beauty collection. So this is the Empowered palette on this eye, and this is the what is it, the Rose Quartz on this side, showing you why you didn't need to buy those two new Huda Beauty palettes that are coming out. So you all should see that video Saturday, because you're gonna see the one for the KVD Beauty Foundation Friday. Anyway, I'm gonna go off camera, get my life together, and look at this palette and see what I'm gonna do. Okay, girl? Okay. Okay, so this is the eye I came up with. I know, y'all, it's real extra, but we see what had happened was. And then, yeah, so what I did was I mixed these two red shades together. Put these two red shades on the lid. I had to outline my brow bone with this. Y'all know I love me a nice pastel-y moment. And then I used the black. So I actually didn't use any of the grays, but I mean, technically, I guess you can call this a very bright gray. And I put this in the inner corner, so I used these two. And these, like, 5 right here. So we use 5 out of the 10 in the palette. So actually it's more than, is it more than 5? I use 6, I think, out of the palette, because we use 3 at the bottom. Sorry, we use 7 out of the 10. So I used the good majority of the palette, which I'm fine with. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. I lined my brow bone with this, then I went in mixing these two shades in the crease. Y'all know I had to do a deep black outer V. And then I put this in my inner corner and called it a day, along with these two shimmers right here in the lid, because they were the ones that looked like they matched the best to me out of the picture I saw. Because as we know, I don't have this palette and I don't plan on getting it, and I'm telling you not to get it. So that's what we're doing today. But however, if you do want to get the palette after seeing this look on me and feeling and watching Karen's video and feeling like they don't look similar, you can use code what everybody says together now. You can use code Cage Makeup. So use Karen's code if you do feel like you do need this palette after having seen me do the look with this palette and that not sufficing for you. Or you might have came into makeup game late and didn't get a chance to get this palette, so that would be beneficial to you. So, you know, it's still useful. I can make some more Pimby content. I meant to bring the Pimby palette over here today, but I did not. My bad. So I got the, I forgot what Jamrock one I have. I don't have the newest Jamrock one that one of y'all was talking to me about that I thought had launched, but it hadn't come out yet. They had just sent it out to influencers. Like, I need to bring the one that looks similar to the, you mentioned the ABH Norvina, like, Volume 6 palette. I have the one that looks similar to that I put in the overrated versus underrated. I don't know if y'all have seen that underrated versus overrated yet, so if I spoiled it, my bad. But I feel like you have already seen it, or I just filmed it super early, and y'all know it be taking me forever to put those up because I be having so much other content, and then new things always coming out. But I like to have a good variety of stuff as opposed to me only showing you new stuff, because it's like, if you can't always afford new stuff, it's nice to see other stuff. So I try to keep that in mind with the content I make. Like, you might not be able to get the new stuff, but you know, like, you use this old stuff, girl. Make this old stuff work for you. So I literally just made like the weird chalk outline line on my eyebrow. I know it's weird, but I feel like it ended up turning out nicely. I feel like it gave a nice clear view of what, you know, was going on the eye. So I'm trying to make it work. I took this brush that I used in another video that still had like this peachish tone on it and just kind of dusted around everywhere. So I don't know if you consider that cheating or not, but I was trying not to wash a whole bunch of brushes. I still got to come back tomorrow and do more makeup looks, because Adriangameover does not have school Friday, and then he doesn't have it Monday because like I said, I think President's Day. I said that in another video, but wasn't this one, but you know, I said it. So we're gonna start with this shade. I'm gonna do this one all throughout the crease, and then later I go in with this one on top of it. So we're doing this first, then this one, then we'll get into these two shimmers right here and this inner corner shade, along with the black on the outer V. So, but yeah, so okay, y'all. So I'm feeling some type of way, and I want to know what y'all think about this. So since you've seen this video tomorrow, I was thinking about putting up a poll. I don't know. I know I'm gonna just say in this video, and y'all can, you know, tell me how you feel about it. But I kind of wanted to see, because they're influencer pounds, I don't want to do a why you don't need or do you really need video on them, because it's like, I know these influencers work hard. They were happy to get the opportunity and they put the palette out, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like they look similar to other palettes that are already from this brand that they've done with past influencers. So I'm kind of feeling like I wanted to do a do you really need, but knowing me, I'm just gonna like respect the fact that influencers took their time and effort to make these palettes, and just go ahead and show y'all the comparisons in the video once they get here. But it's like, I feel like they look similar to other palettes that are already in this brand or from past influencer collabs. I feel like y'all should know which one I'm talking about, but it's like, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to dampen their moment, but it's like, I feel like a couple of the one of the palettes is going to be a good companion palette for Tina's palette, and then the other one I feel like it looks like the Hella palette, and then the other one I feel like looks like it could be a mixture of Giant Wolves and the Soulmate 2 palette. So it's like I feel like they're looking really similar, but I just don't want to dampen someone's moment, especially since one of the influencers is her first collab ever, and I've been wanting to see a collab from her for a while along with the rest of her followers. So I'm like, I don't want to dampen their moments, but at the same time I feel like some of them look so similar. So it's like I don't necessarily need them, but I'm probably just gonna do palette mashups with them and like show you the comparisons once they get here, because I did order the collection, even though I'm saying I don't necessarily think that you might need to. But I don't know, I'm feeling some type of way about it, which is why I'm probably just not going ahead and like keep my mouth shut and not do it. But like I do feel like they look similar. Let's go into the Obituary shade now. That was the deepest, that was the lighter one toward the back. Put over here. The shade feels really dry. Like it picked up a good amount of product and still worked well. It just felt extremely dry when I was dusting into it, and the other one still felt powdery. So I thought that was interesting, because it's like I didn't use this palette that often, again because you know when stuff is limited edition people be getting mad and all that. But since the Chucky one is back in, I'm like I have a chance to use it again, just like my Morte. I was happy to be able to use. I'm going to definitely be using that one some more as well, because that's still one of my favorite palettes. Now with the new one, as odd as it is, like it doesn't line up with the old palette, but it's like they probably didn't remember where the magnet was in the old one versus the new one, and since they were figuring people just gonna buy that one, they're only gonna have that one in their collection, and not be like me and have an extra one, because you know I'm extra like that. I'm just taking this same brush and just dusting around. So I feel like with that they didn't, you know, necessarily prepare for it, because I know the magnet is not even with the old one that I have at all. It does not line up with the Beaute palette at all. Now we're gonna go into the black. So there's that. I got a few old school versus new schools I need to film, and then I'll be done with that for right now, which I'm excited about, because I feel like more will come over the summer and over the year, and I can still do more of them. I'm just, you know, like ready to have all the stuff back in my collection in my house, instead of sitting in one every week just looking at me like, you didn't film with me yet, you need to do that type vibes, because I'll be getting annoyed when stuff like that is constantly happening to me. But okay, y'all, so I thought y'all had missed a whole bunch when I was talking, but it was only like a few seconds. So as you can see, I just finished up the black, and then I realized, like, you know, the camera cut off. All my cards be filling up lately when I be trying to film y'all. It is so annoying. I had to actually put another card in after I had filmed the intro to this, talking about why you didn't need this palette in order to be able to get this eye look done. I still got some more palettes I need to do, but I'm coming back tomorrow with Adriangameover, and he has a day out of school, so I don't have to worry about too much. I can film Thursday night if I feel like it, and I can film Friday night, and then Saturday I have to take him to the movies with his best friend, so I won't probably film too much in the morning, because I'm gonna have to go home and take a nap before I have to go and do that. Yes, y'all, I've been taking naps, but you know, I work a lot. So we're gonna start off with this shade toward the back. This is Dante's Inferno. It's gonna be on the back part right here, and then we're gonna go into Solid Girl in the front, and then I put the silver in the front and toward the inner corner. So that's what we're working with anyway. But yeah, so from what I remember, I was saying about how I hate when I have like a whole bunch of palettes just sitting in the floor here every time I come over. But it's like when I have new stuff I have to film, obviously the new stuff is priority. I do want to give y'all content with older stuff though, just because, you know, with the way the economy is going and all that, it's like you might never be able to buy new stuff, and I don't want to just keep making you feel like I'm just trying to force a whole bunch of new stuff down your throat. Look at that color, it's insanely gorgeous. Anyway, but I'm like, I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to force all these new things down your throat. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to just go ahead and, you know, try to give y'all a nice mixture of both. So that way it's not like just new all the time. New. Like you have to have new or nothing at all. Like you don't have to have new stuff or nothing at all. There's plenty of old stuff in your collection that looks so good, new stuff. That's why I do all the series I do, just showing you different ways that the stuff looks the same. And that's why I do the eye looks too, because it's like I want you to see what the colors look like on the eye, so you can see the difference in tones to see which tone you like the best. So just in case you do already have it, but you prefer the tones in the other one, maybe you can sell that one in Macari, and then you can get the new one that you want, and then you don't have to pay all that money or whatever. So we're just taking the silver now after we took those two different red shades and putting it in the corner. But yeah, it's like I try to do as many videos as I can, because that's, you know, I want y'all to have all the options and all the information to be able to make a smart decision. So I went a little extra and put that red in the waterline like I did last, not waterline, in the crease like I did last time. I'm just taking the black and putting it back over a little bit. Well, I did that just a little bit, just because I was trying to be extra. I forgot it wasn't as thin of a pencil as, you know, the other pencils I normally use, so it's kind of got like a thickness to it underneath here. But I'm still gonna do it because we did it to one side, so y'all know the way you gotta do it to the other one now. It doesn't look as nice as I hoped, but you know, like, I was just trying to give it a little creative like spin to it. Since I did my eye look the same way I normally do my eyeshadow looks, and I wanted you to have something a little extra, like, and different as opposed to same thing all the time. So I was like, I'll add this little sparkle extra situation and see how that looks. But you know, it doesn't look as nice as I hoped, but you know, like I said, we know how it is, so it's too late. It's too late. You gotta do it on both sides now. So I'm trying to drag a little bit of this shade a little bit higher now, just because if y'all don't remember, I keep saying like my eyes are two different shapes, so it's like sometimes I have to bring it up higher on one side to make the eye look a little more even. So that's what I'm doing now. Basically, I'm bringing like two darker burgundy shades on each side up, so it look a little bit even than it did now with the shimmery glittery shade down. So I'm taking one shade and I'm gonna go into the lighter shade and dust it up here as well and hook that up. So that's looking a little more even now. And now I'm probably have to go back into the gray shade we started off with to do with that real quick. So let me go do that real quick. Yeah, just need to put a little bit more brightness up here to dust over this part right here and hook that up right here. Dust over real quick and cute like, you know, real quick and cute like, and here we go. So this is the finished eye look using the waiting room, and why you don't need the Crazy in Love collection from Glamlite X Chucky or Bride of Chucky or Seed of Chucky. I don't know which one they're going with, but this is why you don't need it, because look at this. This look is absolutely stunning. If you already have this palette, you don't need to buy that palette. Let me zoom in on it. So I'm feeling this eye look. I feel like it's a whole moment and vibe. But I'd love to hear your comments down below. What do you think of it? I think it's fire. And it's definitely giving anti-Valentine's Day looks. Which, funny enough, if y'all remember, I posted this as one of my anti-Valentine's Day palettes in the Melt collection series. So I think it's interesting that I ended up getting to use it because somebody came up with an anti-Valentine's Day like makeup look, or I guess more goth version of anti-makeup day looks. Y'all can tell me what you thought of that series down below, because I was thinking about doing one for the summertime and just pulling all my favorite palettes for the summer from different brands and showing that in the showcase, as opposed to like doing a video that's dedicated to it, so I don't have to like force myself to sit down, bring 40 palettes and sit here and talk forever. I want to kind of utilize the shorts a little bit better to my advantage as far as that goes, so that way I don't have to like rush and try to bring all the stuff and film a whole bunch of stuff at one time. So you can comment down below and tell me if you liked it, and if you do, then maybe we can do one for spring, summer, and then I want to do one like transitioning palettes that go from summer to fall and all that type of stuff. So I think it's fun making little shorts when it comes to my palette stuff like that, as opposed to having to make whole videos. But you can tell me down below what you think and if you'd be interested or not. But this is how the eyes turned out. I think it looks stunning, and I think that's why you don't need the Glamlite palette. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all are diamonds. If you are going to get the Glamlite palette, just remember to use code CAGEMAKeup, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.